Charlie, how was the stage?
Good, huh? Wait till that thing blinks.
Charlie Brown, Houston, they got staging. They had a wild gyration, though, but they got it under control, over.
This is Apollo Control at 184 hours, 30 minutes. The flight surgeon reported just a few minutes ago that biomedical data showed that Gene Cernan was awake now, and we might anticipate a call from the crew before too much longer. At the present time, Apollo 10 is 51,156 nautical miles from Earth, and the velocity has just gone over the 9,000 foot mark, presently at 9,080 feet per second. Here in Mission Control, we're having our change of shift. Flight Director Pete Frank is coming on to replace Flight Director Milton Windler. Frank and his team, his orange team of flight controllers, will be handling the re-entry and splash. The Capcom on the upcoming shift will be astronaut Jack Lausma. At 184 hours, 32 minutes, this is Apollo Control.
Honeysuckle, this is Houston, Comtech, 1-2-3-4-4-3-2-1. Give me a short count.
This is Honeysuckle on Goss, 1-2-3-4-5-5-4-3-2-1.
Roger, thank you.
Roger.
This is Apollo Control, 185 hours. Ground elapsed time, and it's time for wake-up of the crew of Apollo 10. We're standing by now for the wake-up call.
Hello, Apollo 10, Reveille. All hands, heave out and trace up. Sweepers, man your brooms. Clean sweep down, fore and aft. Take all trash and garbage to the fantail. Standing by. This is Houston.
Oh, I love you. Where'd you learn that kind of noise?
That's Navy noise.
That's what I mean. Hey, you get a DS, that's 30 minutes early.
Negative on that.
Huh?
I want to get you up. It's your last day to enjoy out there. Don't want you to miss anything. How you guys feeling today?
Hey, babe, I've been looking out that window all night long, so you know, I was waiting for that noise anyway. How are you?
Hey, real good. Looks like you've been up for a little while.
Yeah, off and on. Off and on. It gets pretty anxious up here with that world getting so big. It's beautiful, babe. It really is.
You look like you're just a hair over 50,000 out now, Gino.
50 grand, huh? Beautiful.
Hey, why don't you guys come on home today?
You know, I think we will. What have you been doing? Taking lessons from Jack or something? I didn't know you do that kind of music.
Jack doesn't know what it means.
Oh, here you come, Joe. Oh my God, you're about 3/4 the size of my side window. You're less than a full Earth. You're curved over at the poles, which means we're going behind you, which is good. And oh my golly, are you getting big and beautiful, babe? I never thought I'd say that to you, but you sure do look good.
You've been gone too long.
Let me take a look with the binocular and find out where we are. Joe, I'm looking at the Pacific and Indian Ocean here. I've got full continent of India and Asia, and coming over the horizon appears to be Africa. Beautiful.
Okay, you've got a pretty good looking weather forecast for your recovery area. It looks like about 1,800 scattered, 10,000 broken, high broken, 10 miles, and the wind's out of the east-southeast at about 12 knots. The waves are 4 feet, 5 seconds, 81 degrees, and it says widely scattered showers, but you can probably get a better handle on that from up there.
Okay, Joe, what's present weather?
We're getting it now, Gino.
Joe, tell Captain Cruz to put it into the wind. We'll be down there in about 6 hours.
Say again, Gino.
Tell Captain Cruz to put it into the wind and we'll be on board in about 6 hours.
Okay, we'll tell him. Yeah, Apollo 10, this Houston, the weather, current weather is just about the same as the forecast. It looks like it may be getting a little bit better. It looks like they're going about 2,000 scattered, high broken now.
And the sea state?
Sea state's 4 feet and 5 second intervals.
Sounds good, Joe.
Okay, I'm going to sneak out here and let the Marines take over. I'll see you guys a little later.
Joe, thanks for everything, babe. We'll see you back at home.
Roger that.
Good morning, Apollo 10. Just got off the gate. Wanted Joe to give you that reveille because I figured if I gave it to you, you'd consider it harassment.
Jack, you're just too much. Jack, after 8 days, I gotta make a public announcement. You're really a great guy. It's just your choice of services.
I think you're talking about the oldest fighting service in the country and the best in the world, aren't you? And watch out for those lightning bolts.
Talking about that gate guard branch of the U.S. Navy. I guess you're right, Jack. I don't know what the Navy would do if it wasn't for the Marines' existence.
Don't forget your Astrocast from yesterday. It's the same today.
Listen, I'm not going to say anything about anybody today. This is going to be a good day.
Raj.
This is Apollo Control, still monitoring air-ground with the spacecraft. Now some 46,867 nautical miles out from Earth, approaching a velocity of 10,000 feet per second, actually 9,470. The reveille bugle call was played up from Mission Control for the last day of the mission. Gene Cernan had been awake for some time, observing the Earth grow bigger in his window. There was a certain amount of banter back and forth between the ground or the spacecraft communicator, Joe Engel, and later Jack Lausma here in Mission Control, and Cernan. Weather in the landing area shows cloud deck at 1,800 feet, scattered, wave height 4 feet, wind 12 knots out of 120 degrees, visibility 10 miles, scattered showers over about 10% of the area. Our touchdown clock now showing 6 hours 28 minutes mark until splash. We still got mid-course correction burn number 7, sort of hanging fire as it were. No firm decision has been made yet whether to do mid-course number 7. Mid-course number 6 was omitted during the night. If mid-course 7 is done, it will be primarily to adjust the flight path angle by some 0.15 of 1 degree. We're continuing to stand by to monitor air ground. The crew likely at the present time is eating breakfast, going through all the housekeeping chores in the spacecraft cabin prior to powering up for the day's activities. We'll leave the circuit live at this time and catch any bits of conversation as they take place.
Hello, Houston, this is 10.
Roger, 10.
Jack, the LEM CO2 canister sleeping bag with the suit on the right-hand side, and it's at the foot of the sleeping bag. Right next to A6.
Roger, copy. Thank you, Gene. Apollo 10, Houston. If you're eating breakfast and got time to listen, I've got some newspaper reports. Otherwise, got some pads and so forth. Over.
Okay, go ahead, Jack. We'll listen.
Okay, one technical item first. The hydrogen tank fans, we'd like number 1 off and number 2 on. Over.
Number 1's coming off and number 2's on.
Okay, the Orange Bugle, Pasadena, California. Scientists have found minute forms of life on a volcano-racked Antarctic island they believe is much like the polar regions of Mars. Dr. Roy E. Cameron, Jet Propulsion Laboratory microbiologist, said in a report released Monday that algae, fungi, and bacteria had started to grow in lava rubble a year after Deception Island was rocked by volcanic blast in December 1967. Kansas City. The Weather Bureau Sunday night said it had received many calls from people in Missouri and Kansas inquiring about a bright object seen to the left of the moon. Many thought it possibly might be Apollo 10 on its return trip to Earth. At first, a recording from the Weather Bureau informed callers the bright object was the planet Mars, but amateur astronomers in Kansas City said it was the planet Jupiter. In St. Louis, the Weather Bureau said it had been advised by the president of the Astronomical Society in St. Louis that the bright object near the moon is definitely Jupiter. Aboard the USS Princeton, about $750,000 is being spent on live color television of Apollo 10 Monday splashdown in the Pacific, but the networks are uncertain about the quality of the pictures. The pictures will be beamed by a communications satellite to Brewster Flat, Washington. From there, they will be transmitted by microwave circuit to New York. The trouble is, nobody has ever tried to send a picture that far, says Carl Hoffenberg, a National Broadcasting Company producer assigned to the TV pool aboard this prime recovery ship. Washington. President Nixon celebrated the 6th anniversary of the signing of the Organization of African Unity Charter at a colorful diplomatic reception Sunday evening and promised to work for the future progress and prosperity of that continent. London. 2 Soviet scientists Sunday congratulated the Apollo 10 astronauts for contributing to man's knowledge of space. Soviet astronomer Nikolai Kardashev said on Moscow radio's English service, "I should like to believe that the American moon flight and the Soviet Venus probes will promote further progress in space exploration. I wish the crew of Apollo 10 successful completion of their space mission." Professor Alla Mesevich, a Soviet space researcher, said on the same broadcast, "Soviet and American space probes are advancing world science." In the sports news, in baseball, Atlanta 4, Phillies 1. The Astros licked the Mets 6-3, having won 17 of the last 21 games. I don't think you want to hear about the Cubs. San Diego took a doubleheader from the Cubs. No, correction. San Diego 10, Cubs 2, first game. Cubs 1, San Diego nothing in the second game. And in the golf world, Atlanta, Bert Yancey, America's lone hope on a day dominated by foreigners, sank his 3rd consecutive birdie putt on the second hole of a sudden death playoff Sunday to edge Australian Bruce Devlin for the Atlanta Golf Classic Championship. Yancey and Devlin both sank 10-foot birdie putts on the final hole of regulation play to post matching 11-under par 277s that enabled them to finish 1 stroke ahead of South Africa's Gary Player, who also closed with a birdie, and to put them into a sudden death playoff. Both had 3 under par 69s in the final round. And that's the news.
Okay, Houston, this is Ken. We just picked up 3 more guys. We got the suit stowed flat. The CFP suit is under the left couch with a helmet on it up at the, up under the right couch with a helmet on it. As per directed yesterday in the sleep bag. The LFP scotch and the LFP suit and the CDR suit are into the center couch, stowed as per directed by the North American document that shows one suit with its head stowed footward, the other with its head stowed toward the head of the couch with a hat on the top of it. Over.
Roger, copy. Thank you. And Apollo 10, Houston, we have another bit of information here. Spacecraft 106 had a harness which would not release after latching. And the recommendation in your case is to, if you have time and you can't get one released, to take it apart at the harness adjusters. Or if you have to get out of it in a hurry, keep a pair of scissors handy nearby to cut the straps. And both of these methods have been attempted and verified to work. Over.
You mean which wouldn't let go at the buckle? Over.
That's right.
I'll be darned. How about that? You know which harness it was?
No, I don't, but I can attempt to find out here. Apollo 10, Houston, we will make mid-course 7. It'll be approximately 1.5 feet per second in order to bring the G level down. Over.
Okay, Jack.
This is Apollo Control. The decision has been made to do mid-course correction burn number 7. RCS burn of about 1.5 foot per second. It will reduce the flight path angle to from 6.65 degrees, minus 6.65 degrees, to minus 6.5 degrees, about 0.15 of a degree change, which will thereby reduce the entry deceleration from a little over 7 Gs to about 6.7 Gs. Continuing to monitor air-ground for resumption of conversation. A few moments ago, the entry interface time was incorrectly identified as splash time. The clock identified as ET is time to entry interface, or 400,000 feet above the Earth's surface. Now showing 6 hours, 4 minutes, 40 seconds, mark, 6:4:40. Continuing to monitor air ground.
Houston, this is Apollo 10, over.
Go ahead.
Roger, when you give us this new rest mat and we go to realign to it, can you give us an attitude which we will be able to avoid the prospect of the gimbal lock program alarm to maneuver to do the realign? Over.
Roger, we understand you want some angles to avoid the program alarm.
Yes, sir. And some good angles to see the stars.
Roger, stand by. We'll get them for you.
If possible, about 180 from the sun.
Okay, thank you. And 10, that lap belt business, we don't know which seat that occurred in, but it was in spacecraft 108, over.
Okay, well, that's no problem then. That's spacecraft 108's problem.
Roger, I wasn't sure that I gave you the right number. But we just wanted to alert you to this potential problem that arose.
Houston, according to my star chart, that thing out beside the moon is Jupiter.
Roger, then the expert from St. Louis is correct, right?
And also, according to the optics, that little rascal has about 3 or 4 moons running around it right now that you can see through the optics.
Roger.
Or maybe it's a fleet maybe it's one great big spacecraft with a fleet of a bunch of little ones. Guess we better not put that word out.
Yeah, like somebody said before, you guys have been up there too long.
Hello, Houston, Apollo 10.
Morning, Tom.
Roger. Say, how did the Soviet Venus probe go? Did it land okay, over?
Say again, please.
Roger, what about the Soviet Venus probe? Did it land all right, over?
Let us research that and get some word.
See if you can find out anything about your temperature measurement. Okay.
Stand by in the Venus probe. We got some super sleuths working on that.
This is Apollo Control. 186 hours, 5 minutes ground elapsed time. Apollo 10 now 42,616 nautical miles from Earth. 9,909 feet per second velocity. The prime recovery ship, Princeton, USS Princeton, in the Southwest Pacific, is now on station at 1504 south latitude, 1504 degrees south latitude, 164.41 west longitude. Princeton reports the sea is as still as a mill pond. We're anticipating the maneuver pad being passed to the crew before too long for mid-course correction number 7. The only one to be made during the return leg from the moon. Slightly over 1 foot per second. Some comparisons with Apollo 8. On the return leg from the moon, Apollo 8 did the first outbound mid-course correction, number 5 in the sequence, at trans-earth injection plus 15 hours. It was the only one made at 5 feet per second. Entry velocity on Apollo 8 was 36,221 feet per second at entry interface. We're anticipating 36,314 feet per second. Slightly less than 100 feet per second faster entry on Apollo 10 than on Apollo 8. Continuing to monitor air to ground from Apollo 10 at 186 hours, 8 minutes. Leaving the circuit live.
Hello, Houston. This is Tim.
Go ahead.
Jack, you still want us to cycle the H2 and O2 fans or just leave them in this configuration?
Apollo 10, Houston, leave the H2 tank fan, or the tank fan configuration about the same as it is, except we'd like you to stir up the O2 tanks for a minute or so, over.
Okay, thank you. John? Hello, Houston, this is Ken.
Roger, I knew it was you calling.
Yeah, in addition to those other angles that John was talking to you about earlier, can you gin us up some TV angles, please?
Roger, I've got the TV angles right here. We'll get John's angles about the time we have the TV pass, but you ready to copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, TV at 186.50, left-hand side window looking at the Earth. Roll is all balls. Pitch is 090. Yaw is all balls. Your high gain angles will be plus 18 degrees in pitch and 268 degrees in yaw.
distance from the Earth and relative velocity be, please, at that time.
Stand by one, we'll extrapolate that.
Okay, Houston, this is 10 again. The lithium hydroxide canister, for purposes of determining CG, is butt up against A6. Between A6 and A11, it's wedged in there. And the half a bag of water is stowed in A5. Only it's 25% of that half bag of water is probably going to be bubbles. How you weigh that?
Roger, we got some experts here that can figure out how much the bubbles weigh.
Okay, and it's half filled with water.
Roger.
They don't hardly weigh more than the water at 0G.
Gene, this is Houston at 186.50. About TV time, you're going to be at 38,435 miles. Your velocity will be 10,402 feet per second.
Finally starting to pick up a little.
Yeah, you're getting there. You just crossed the 10,000 foot per second mark right now, and you're really starting to move out now.
And we're going so slow there for a while, Jack. I thought we were about to stall out. Over.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about all of that mathematics and orbital mechanics, you know. I thought maybe it was going to fall through this time, but looks like it's going to hang in there.
Okay, Houston, and on the upper hatch, there's considerable water up there, and I guess if I was going to design a water separator, this would be a good place to put it.
Roger, we copy. Apollo 10, Houston, on the Venus probes. Venus 5 landed on 16 May. Venus 6 landed on 17 May. Both were launched in January, 6 days apart, as you recall. And the Soviet scientists say that they are fully satisfied with results. Each probe has returned much new information which indicates, and I quote, "Man will never go there," unquote. The probes made a soft landing. Lasted about 30 minutes after landing. Measured a temperature of 537 degrees Fahrenheit, over.
Roger. We'll look into the manned aspect later, but from the crew of Apollo 10, would you give them our congratulations on their total engineering and scientific success, over?
Roger, copy. Congratulations to the Soviets on their engineering success with the Venus probes. Apollo 10, Houston, I have a flight plan update.
Go ahead, Jack.
Okay, at 189 plus 10 hours, we'd like you to read out the command module RCS temperatures off the system test meter. Because if preheat is required, we'll want to bring fuel cell 1 back on the line. And at 189 plus 20, we'll resurface the primary evaporator using 3 minutes of water, 3-minute service. And I have a change to your entry checklist as a result of the fuel cell situation. And the change is on page E, Echo 2-2, Step 6, Line 12. Change fuel cell 2, main A and B off to read instead fuel cell 1, main A and B off. And in addition, we're standing by for your crew status reports, and we'd like some PRD readings before you go through the radiation belt so we can compare them with those afterwards, over.
Okay, on that checklist now, I just want to make sure the preceding line says fuel cell pumps, parentheses 3 off. To corrected line now says fuel cell 1, main A, main B off. And then it says verified loads balanced, right?
That is affirmative. You've got that right.
Okay, well, we have fuel cell 1, main A, main B off right now.
Roger, 10. If we bring fuel cell 1 on, then this note will apply. Over.
Okay, Jack, I'm with you. And at 189.20, we're going to reservice the VAP for 3 minutes, and at 189.10, we'll read out the CMS RCS temps, and at that time, we'll decide on fuel cell 1 and stand by for those rad readings.
Roger.
Okay, crew status, Jack. The CDR took one LOMO last night, and he's going to take a decongestant just precautionary prior to re-entry. The crew slept well last night, from anywhere from 4 to 8 hours sleep apiece. The rad readings are 26048, 05049er, and 15050. And we've completed breakfast. The spacecraft is about 90%, 95% stowed, and we'll be in the couches here and probably remain pretty much so there from now on in.
Roger, we copy, Gene. Thank you.
Houston, this is 10.
Go ahead, 10.
I'm going to high gain at 10 at this time.
Copy.
Hello, Houston. When do you want to conduct a simplex check?
Apollo 10, Houston, we're monitoring the VHF, and we'll notify when we need the VHF check. Over.
Okay, fine. We'll be standing by for it.
Houston, Apollo 10, we're all squared away in the attitude for the final TV pass. Over.
Roger, copy, Tom.
And Houston, are you going to be receiving this live there at MCC? Over.
Stand by 1. 10, Houston, TV will be live here.
Okay.
This is Apollo Control. As mentioned in the conversation between Jack Lausma and the crew, they're coming up on a television pass in less than a minute. According to the flight plan, it'll be routed through the Honeysuckle Creek, Australia tracking station over S-band, relayed by satellite back to mission control, where it'll be converted into color and distributed from there. We're standing by for this morning's television pass, the final one of the mission, to begin.
Houston, Apollo 10, we're ready to go with the TV if you are.
Stand by 1. Okay, Apollo 10, Houston, we're going to TV at this time. Over.
Okay, Houston, you ought to be starting to pick up a view of the Earth at this time. We're coming to you on our final TV pass. Let us know when you're getting it, Jack.
Roger, Gene. We'll tell you when we're getting it here.
Houston, Apollo 10, how does the screen look? Over.
Roger 10, we're not getting it yet. Apparently everything isn't quite warmed up yet. Here she comes. She's coming in now. Okay, we're getting TV of the Earth. We see the Terminator, and you're getting it centered up pretty well right now.
Good morning, from Apollo 10. We're now approximately 38,000 miles from the Earth, and we're starting to accelerate rapidly as the Earth's influence becomes felt more and more the closer we get. We're doing now approximately 7,500 miles an hour, and we're 5 hours out from our final entry into the Earth's atmosphere. This morning, as we look out there, we can see part of China. India is the most predominant feature, but also we can see Saudi Arabia, the Gulf of Oman, and the Indian Ocean at this time.
Tom's going to zoom the TV into the Gulf of Oman. Let's see what you can see there. Okay, that's full zoom into the Gulf of Oman. The Gulf of Oman is in the center left part of your picture. How does it look down there?
Okay, 10, the globe is about filling the screen at this time, and we can see the darker land masses, and the Gulf of Oman is not apparent to a novice, I guess you might say. But it's a beautiful picture, and it's coming through well.
Sure is a beautiful picture.
I guess you might say that the artist that painted that one is a master. I know that looks real good to you guys, and the closer you get, the better it looks.
Jack, one reflection that we felt very strong about as we show you our last telecast here of the Earth is that we felt very strong about sharing with you some of the adventure, the excitement, the challenges, and the rewards of these 8 days. And through this endeavor, we hope that we've made you and millions of people of the world more of a part of the history that's being made in our day and age.
Well, I know everybody around the world has appreciated the TV pictures and all the effort you went to make them good. They've all been excellent, and I know it's given everyone a better feeling for what we're actually doing and a better appreciation of the program in general.
Okay, some final just color thoughts as we look in there. India appears to us to be a purplish tan. Over, you see that the sun, the solar sun point is right in the Gulf of Oman now. It is nearly a yellowish bronze. Beyond that, we have Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia to us looks a sandy orange. Up to the right, up near the very top of your screen, it's covered mostly with clouds, and this has been the cloud cover that's persisted over the northern part of the world ever since we left Cape Kennedy nearly 8 days ago. Down below to the left, the long straight cloud is part of the ITC that you can see, or even down over that into the Indian Ocean. But throughout these telecasts, as you can see, that the majority of the world is usually covered with clouds. Over.
Roger, Tom, and I think people around the world are kind of sad to see this to be the last TV shot from space for a while. And I know that they've been very interested and enthusiastic about the pictures and the total flight.
Roger, it's kind of a feeling of same way for us to not see these beautiful views. Of course, we're certainly looking forward to be back on the good Earth in about 5 hours. And it's really been a fantastic overall flight for us, and some of the experiences that we've had all the way from liftoff on the Saturn V to seeing the Earth and Moon, the lunar orbit work, and then to climb out from the Moon and all the way back. And why don't we take you inside the cockpit for one quick minute?
Okay, we have it inside the cabin now, Tom, and we got a pretty good look at a clean-shaven command module pilot there.
This is your old retired philosopher speaking to you from outer space and telling you that TV is on its way back.
Roger, thank you for those words from the old retired philosopher.
We have a little more work to do, and then we'll be back with you. It'll sure be great to be back. It's been utterly unbelievable, the mission has. We've really enjoyed every bit of it. So until we see you again, we'll say so long.
Okay, we'll pan over on the right side of the cockpit. Here's Commander Gene Cernan.
Hello, Gene. How about saying a few words into the microphone?
Okay, Jack. I can't tell you what a rewarding and satisfying experience this has been. It's had its moments, as I said. I'm just thankful that through the medium of television we've been able to share it with so many people in real time. I'm convinced after this mission, none of them are going to be easy, but nothing is impossible, and I think the future of manned spaceflight from now and for many generations to come is going to uncover many, many other new challenges and experience that we yet are really incapable of even conceiving at this time. It's been a great 8 days. Of course, we're looking forward to get home, and I guess next time we'll be talking to you and seeing you. We'll be back on the ground. Thank you.
Hello there, Skipper.
Good morning.
Okay.
Well, the final closeout telecast of Apollo 10, we just want to say that it's just been fantastic. The total views that we've seen on this total mission, and again, like Gene pointed out, no mission's easy, and it's been a lot of work, but we've enjoyed the whole thing greatly. And also, the main thing is we've been able to just in real time on some of the major parts of the mission to share this with you. Like we pointed out, that fantastic view when he left the moon, man has certainly progressed a long ways in just such a short few years. And how much we're going to progress in the future is left to your imagination. But if we harness our energies and keep our perspectives right, the goals are unlimited. And we want to take you back out to show you one last picture of the world. Now, wait a minute. We want to show you a couple other people that's been with us here. We can here. We've got the spacecraft fairly well stored. In fact, we're running about an hour and a half ahead of schedule on board the spacecraft. But as you know, we had the lunar module with us, which we nicknamed Snoopy. And Snoopy, the ascent part of Snoopy is on its way around the sun now. The descent part is still in the orbit around the moon. And right now we're in our code nickname of Charlie Brown. And here's, again, our little mascot, Charlie Brown, code name for the command module. And Charlie Brown has been a real good boy. He's been with us all the way. The spacecraft has been fantastic with respect to its systems and its reliability. It's done a beautiful job for the whole program. And how does the color look for Charlie Brown down there, Houston?
The color is perfect, Tom. Good morning, Charlie.
And Charlie just wants to say good morning to all you people, and it's great to be on the mission. And here's our other friend that went along with us, and for a code name, as we said, the part of him's on the way around the sun, the other part around the moon, so he's got quite a split personality, over. Here's the code name of our lunar module, Snoopy. And Snoopy was a fairly good dog for us. In fact, it's a fantastic vehicle to fly. But again, one thing I want to point out about Snoopy, this is a symbol of the manned flight awareness program and represents the good work and efforts of the hundreds of thousands of people who have made the manned spaceflight program so successful. And from the crew of Apollo 10, we'd just like to give all those people a salute and acknowledgement. And this is one way of doing it, just by naming a spacecraft after their symbol. And so from the five of us, Gene Cernan, John Young, Tom Stafford, Snoopy, and Charlie Brown, we'd just like to say goodbye. And here's our little symbol for the mission. And we'll see you back on the water in the South Pacific. In fact, we should land about 300 miles east of Samoa in approximately 5 hours. So from the crew of Apollo 10, it's been great being with you, and goodbye.
Roger, thank you, Tom. Preparations are well underway for your return and recovery, and we're looking forward to seeing you real soon.
Roger. Tell all the people around the world, Jack, and also in Houston and MCC, what a great job they've done, and we'll see them back there shortly. Over.
Roger, Tom, thank you, and their congratulations to you and your crew. Over.
Roger. We'll wait to get on board to carry you for that. Houston, Apollo 10, I'll stay in this attitude till you give us the update, and then we'll go down to 000, over.
Roger, we copy 10. Apollo 10, Houston, we're ready with your update. We got a state vector, an entry rest mat, and a mid-core 7 target load. And if you will go to accept. In addition, we're not reading anything on VHF yet, and we'd like you to ensure that the VHF is cranked up. Over.
Right. Okay, Houston, Apollo 10, we are in through and accept. I've got the VHF warming up, and we'll give you a call in just a minute. Over.
Roger, 10.
Hello, Houston, this is Apollo 10 on VHF-A simplex. How do you read? Over.
Roger, I hear you loud and clear, 10 on VHF-A.
Roger, Houston, this is 10 reading you loud and clear. Over.
Belay my last 10, I think I'm getting you on S-band. We'll check with the VHF people. Apollo 10, Houston, Carnarvon read you loud and clear on VHF.
Roger, Houston, Apollo 10, I'm reading you about 3 by 3 on VHF. How many?
Apollo 10, Houston, I'm reading you here on S-band, and we'll have to check with the sites to see how the VHF is coming in. Apollo 10, Houston, we're on VHF only. How do you read? Over. Apollo 10, Houston, how do you read on VHF? Over. Apollo 10, Houston, back on the S-band. Apparently you weren't reading us on VHF. We'll give you another VHF check in about a half hour.
Okay, Jack.
Apollo 10, Houston, the uplink is complete. You can go to block.
Houston, Apollo 10, I'll go ahead and pitch down to 000 when you have the everything as far as the uplink is complete, verified. I guess it is verified now. Over.
Roger, the uplink is complete, Tom, and you're cleared to the new attitude.
Roger. And Houston, 10, this attitude of 000 will be a good one to torque to the new rest mat. Over.
That's affirmative, 10. Apollo 10, Houston, we'd like you to go to wide beam width on the high gain antenna, and I have a maneuver pad and an entry pad for you.
Okay, we'll be with you in 1 second. I'm going to wide beam width right now. You're in wide, Houston, and we'll give you a call when we're ready to copy. We're still doing a few little chores here.
Roger.
Hello, Houston. Houston, this is Apollo 10. We're ready to copy your P30 and your entry update.
Roger, 10. Here's a maneuver pad. MCC 7. RCS GNN. 25232. Noun 48 is NA. Noun 33 is 188. 49er 5675 plus 3 balls 16 minus all balls minus 4 balls, 1. 3 balls. 129er. 3 balls. Apogee is NA. Perigee is plus 00212. 3 balls, 16. 2 balls, 7. 3 balls, 16. 40. 29er, 59er. 383. 033. Uniform 159er. Lima 12. The rest is NA. Your set stars are Denib 43, Vega 36. 067. 174. 343. Your ullage is a 2-quad burn. Use Bravo and Delta. Read back maneuver pad. Let me know when you're ready with the entry pad. Over.
Okay, this is MCC7, RCS GNN 25232. 48th NA 188. 49er 5675. Plus 3 balls 16. Minus all balls. Minus 4 balls 1. Roll is 000. 129er 000. Apogee is NA. Perigee is plus 00212. 3 balls 16. 2 balls 7. 3 balls 16. 40. 29er 59er 383. 033. Uniform 159er. Lima 12. Denib 43 and Vega 36. 067. 174. 343. Using 2 quads, Bravo and Delta. And I'd like to read Noun 33 back to you again. That's 188 49er 5675.
That's affirmative 10. Entry pad when you're ready.
I'm ready, Jack.
Okay, the entry pad is a mid-pack. 3 balls. 153. 001. 19er 1. 31. 54. 268. Minus 1507. Minus 16467. 068. 36315. 652. 12041. 36395. 19er 1. 4854. 0028. Noun 69 is NA. D0 is 400. 028. Correction, 0208. 0018. 0329er. 0817. 40. 2621. 347. 033. Dog 089er. Lima 22. Lift vector is up. Comments. Use a non-exit pattern. Your horizon is dark at entry interface. Over.
Okay, Jack, entry pad. Area's mid-pack. 000 153 001 191 3154 268 minus 1507 minus 16467 068 36315 652 minus 12041 36395 191 4854
Yep.
0028. Down 69 is NA. Are you still with me?
That's affirmative. Go ahead.
D0 is 400 0208 0018 0329er 0817 40 2621 347 033 Delta 089er and Lima 22. The lift vector is up. Using a non-exit pattern, and the horizon is dark at entry interface.
Roger 10, I have a late correction at the bottom. SPA is dog 080 now, over.
Roger, SPA is 080.
And 10, we'd like you to read the range to go back, please.
Okay, the range to go is 12041.
Roger, we copy, and that's affirmative.
This is Apollo Control. To translate some of the exchange of numbers between the spacecraft and the ground, they were passed up a maneuver pad for mid-course correction burn number 7. Will be the RCS thrusters. At 188 hours, 49 minutes, 56.75 seconds, 1.6 foot per second velocity change, burn time of 7 seconds. The the other pad was for the entry numbers to the Mid-Pacific prime recovery line, nominally along 165 west longitude. Showing target point of 15.07 south latitude, 164.67 west longitude. Maximum G's expected 6.8. Velocity at 400,000 feet, or entry interface, 36,315 feet per second. Flight path angle at 400,000 feet, 6.52 degrees. The range to go at the time that the entry monitor system is activated, 1,204.1 nautical miles. Velocity at the time that the entry monitor system is activated and the crew begins reading the onboard displays of range to go and steering commands and so on, 36,395 feet per second. Begin blackout 18 seconds after entry interface. In blackout, 3 minutes, 29 seconds after entry interface. Drogue deploy, drogue parachute deploy, 8 minutes, 17 seconds after entry interface. They were also informed that the horizon would be dark at entry interface. Now 187 hours, 52 minutes ground elapsed time, showing 57 minutes, 40 seconds mark to ignition of mid-course correction burn number 7. 3 hours, 56 minutes, 28 seconds to entry interface. Distance now 31,956 nautical miles out from Earth. Speed continuing to increase to now reading 11,336 feet per second. Continuing to monitor air-ground circuit for continuing conversation of Apollo 10 crew with spacecraft communicator Jack Lasma here in Mission Control.
Apollo 10, Houston, we notice that the DAP is now set up for 4 jets, and we think we ought to have 2 jets. That'd be a B and D, over.
Okay. Roger, do you want, since it's only a couple of feet per second here and everything, we got plenty of fuel, but we'll go ahead and use 2 jets. Our checklist calls for 4, over.
Roger, 10.
Houston, this is Jan. We're going into the coal soak in our checklist there.
Roger, 10, copy.
Houston, this is 10. What's your feeling about putting fuel cell 1 on for the burn?
Stand by 1. Apollo 10, Houston, we don't need fuel cell 1 for the burn and don't intend to use it for the burn, over.
Okay.
Houston, Apollo 10, we'll start through our P-33s now, over.
Roger, 10. Apollo 10, Houston, we suspect that your suit circuit heat exchanger may be in the bypass position, and for comfort it ought to be on now and go to bypass at EI minus 50, over.
Roger.
Apollo 10, Houston, when it's convenient, we'd like to get a GET time hack with you.
It's convenient, over.
Roger, go ahead and give us a time and we'll set our clocks.
Okay, it's 188, 34, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, over.
Okay, thank you very much. We're right on.
That's computer time and GET time, and our mission time is right on.
Roger, we're following right along with you.
Houston, Apollo 10.
Go ahead, 10.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and call up P-41.
Okay, we'll be watching you.
This is Apollo Control. 188 hours, 39 minutes ground elapsed time, coming up on 10-minute mark to the burn. Mark, 10 minutes to ignition of mid-course correction burn number 7. Air ground still alive.
Houston, Apollo 10, would you give us a hack at 5 minutes prior to the maneuver just so we can recheck our event time, over?
Roger, understand you want a time hack just prior to the burn. Is that affirmed?
Give us one at 5 minutes. This event timer occasionally has been jumping numbers, over.
Roger, we'll give you a hack at 5 minutes. That'll be about a minute and a half yet.
Okay, Houston, we're showing 7 minutes mark. How's that sound?
Yeah, we're showing the same. That's confirmed. 7 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, we're proceeding here for final trim.
Roger 10.
Boy, this is absolutely fantastic. Come all the way back to the moon and do this kind of a mid-course.
Yeah, it's pretty good shooting, isn't it?
Man, I mean, I tell you.
Tell Christopher C. and company looks like they have a pretty good rifle scope there to shoot us back in this target, over.
Roger, I guess all that mathematics really works after all.
Roger.
Apollo 10, Houston, we have a few configuration items we'd like to point out. Right.
Okay, we'll wait.
Rotational hand controller power direct, B-mags at 1 rate 2, over.
Roger.
This is Apollo Control. Mark, 30 seconds to ignition.
We're burning. Okay. There we are on our residuals. You can read them 0, -1, -1, and a proceed.
Roger, we copy.
This is Apollo Control, mid-course correction burn number 7, scheduled for 7 seconds duration. I was actually burned out at 6.6 seconds.
Houston, Apollo 10, it's starting to get real cool in here. We'd like to go bypass on the suit circuit heat exchanger, over. And we can turn it on if it gets warm again, over.
Roger 10, go ahead.
Bypass.
Hello, Houston. This is 10. Can you give me a short count and I'll cut off my S-band, see whether I can pick you up VHF?
Stand by 1, please. Apollo 10, Houston, we'll try a VHF voice check as soon as we get the sights configured, and you can go to left antenna, over.
Okay, thank you, Jack.
Apollo 10, Houston, set up your VHF and S-band turned down. We're going to try the VHF check in a minute. Hello, Apollo 10, Houston, on VHF through Guam. How do you copy, over? Apollo 10, Houston, how do you read, over? Apollo 10, Houston, we're back up on S-band. We weren't able to read you on VHF, over.
Roger, we heard some kind of transmissions there in the background, but we never gave you a call on VHF, over.
Roger, I asked for a radio check on VHF. Apparently we're not quite in range yet.
This is Apollo Control. Apollo 10 now 24,469 nautical miles out from Earth. Velocity now 12,794 feet per second. Still monitoring air-ground live.
Apollo 10, Houston, all sites are monitoring VHF downlink. When you're ready, make a transmission, and they'll see if we can pick you up.
Roger, Houston. This is Apollo 10 transmitting on VHF on the short count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How do you read? Over.
Apollo 10, Houston, sites apparently aren't reading you yet on VHF. We recommend that you transmit simultaneous S-band and VHF, and when the sites can read VHF, why they'll let us know and we'll conduct a radio check. Over.
Roger, that's what we're doing. Over.
Okay, Houston, Apollo 10, we're all squared away and way ahead on the checklist. The next thing we're waiting for is just to read out of the command module RCS temps and service the primary FAP and the logic check coming up. Over.
Roger, and there's no significant change in the weather in the landing area. The altimeter is 2988 or plus 38 feet. And we have a splashdown computed time of 1:92:03, and sunrise will be 25 minutes later. Over.
Roger, 1:92:03, sunrise 25 minutes later. Thank you.
Roger, and you copy altimeter 2988.
Roger.
Hey, Jack, we don't have any place to set the altimeter, but thanks for the plus 38 feet.
Roger, plus 38. And 10, we're ready for your RCS temps when you're ready to read them down.
Houston, here's the readings. 5 Charlie is 5.0. 5 Delta is 4.8. 6 Alpha is 5.1. 6 Bravo is 5.1. 6 Charlie is 4.2. 6 Delta is 4.9.
Roger, 10, we copy the temperatures. Thank you.
Houston, at 45 minutes to EI to RRT time, could you give us a time hack? Over.
Roger, you want a time hack at 45 minutes to EI.
That's the problem.
And your computed landing time precisely is now 1:92:03:57.
Houston, we're going back on with the circuit heat exchanger. It doesn't take very long.
Roger to on. Apollo 10, Houston, late correction on your landing time is 1:92:02:57.
Roger, 1:92:02:57.
Buddy, you're going to get there. It doesn't really matter, does it?
I don't reckon
Yeah, we could put you in a holding pattern for a minute there, maybe.
As long as our RET times are okay, we're in good shape.
Houston, Apollo 10, over.
Go ahead.
Roger, wish you would relay on to Captain Cruz, the skipper of the Princeton, that at the time there, at 1:92:03, we expect to be right on top of the 8 point and hope his big ship is close by. Over.
Yeah, I understand.
Roger, we'll pass the word on, and you just holler meatball when you see it.
Will do.
This is Apollo Control to recap that last exchange. Predicted touchdown time in ground elapsed time, 192 hours, 2 minutes, 57 seconds. Back to live air ground.
Okay, Houston, our data up here shows no preheat.
Roger, we confirm that, 10.
This is Apollo Control. Mark, 2 hours, 30 minutes, to entry interface or a sensible atmosphere at 400,000 feet above the surface. Apollo 10 now 22,115 nautical miles out from Earth. Velocity beginning to increase. Air ground here.
I call that water flow valve will come on at 20 minutes.
Roger, 20 minutes.
I'll leave it on for 3 and then auto. Is that correct?
That's affirmative, 10.
Okay, thank you.
Velocity now 13,399 feet per second, beginning to build up as they get back closer into Earth. Air ground still live.
Apollo 10, Houston, we'd like to have all heaters and fans off in the cryo tanks. Over.
Roger, heaters and fans coming off the cryo tanks. They're all off.
Roger.
Houston, the VAP servicing is complete, and for the record, of course we had been here before, but I had gone to manual increase again on the valve.
Roger, we copy and manual increase.
And I now I've got the water flow on auto.
Roger, Gene.
Houston, this is 10.
Go ahead, 10. Apollo 10, Houston, go ahead.
Roger, we're requesting an en route descent commencing 1200 out, and we'd also like expeditious handling CCA down to the Princeton. We'll be making a vertical descent from about 24,000 and request no go around this pass.
Roger, report crossing 25 miles at 6,000 over.
How about that? Houston approach that changed a bit.
We hope on this one, Houston approach out at 6,000. We'll be within about a half to a quarter of a mile. Over.
Roger, you can write your deviation up when you're on the ground.
Roger.
Hello, Houston, 10. What's our range to Mother Earth?
Okay, 10, we're reading 19,660 at this time.
Okay, and how fast are we going?
You're coming in about 14,100 feet per second right now. You're really picking it up.
Thank you, sir. It's that last 10,000 miles. It's more interesting anyway.
Hello, Houston, Apollo 10, over.
Go ahead, 10. Apollo 10, Houston, go ahead.
Roger, Houston. We still have lots of propellant in our primary propellant tanks, but we wanted to know for the service module jettison if you want us to open the secondary propellants. Over.
Stand by 1, please.
Roger.
Apollo 10, Houston, proceed as per the checklist. Over.
Roger, as per checklist.
Okay, Houston, we're ready for the logic sequence check now.
Stand by 1, Apollo 10. Okay, Apollo 10, we're ready to go with the check. Over.
Okay, the ELS logic is coming on. ELS going to auto. Sex logic is coming on. Okay, we're all set up.
Roger, 10, stand by. Okay, Apollo 10, Houston, we'll give you a go for pyro arm.
Roger, sex logic coming back off. Houston, this is 10. We completed the section and start check, and Altair was within about 6 minutes of being right in the middle of the optics. Over.
Roger, we copy, 10.
Hello, Houston, this is 10.
Go ahead, 10.
You want to remain high gain here until just before SEP.
Stand by 1. Apollo 10, Houston, let's stay in high gain until SEP, and then go to Omni-C, over.
Okay, that's Omni Charlie. Is that right, Jack?
Omni Charlie at SEP, let's stay in high gain until that time, over.
Okay, fine, thank you.
I think you're lucky there in that 905.
Wait till you see the next one. How about that, Jack? Over.
That's not bad for a young fella.
Okay, you proved the point.
I told you, wait till the next one.
You're just a show-off, that's all.
How about that, Don?
That's pretty fair.
Work with those optics.
Who's doing that, you or Jose?
No, that's Jose. I'm just narrating.
Okay.
Apollo 10 to Houston, our tracking data now shows you right in the middle of the fairway with a 6.53 degree entry angle, over.
Roger, right in the middle of the quarter with a 6.53. Roger. Houston, we checked down 6-1, and it looks loaded correctly now.
Roger 10, we're checking it.
Roger, our sextant, our alignment check, sextant star on Nunki, the auto optics put the star in this within the center of the reticle.
Roger, copy, John. Hello, 10, now 61 looks good to us.
Alrighty.
Roger. Okay, Houston, the EMS test passed successfully.
Roger, EMS, thank you.
Okay, Houston, as I was driving the scroll down to the pattern, the thing stopped scribing.
Roger, she stopped scribing.
Say again, John.
I'll say the EMS stopped scribing as I was driving it down to the test pattern to set it up on the exit range.
Oh, you mean driving it down to 37K?
Yeah, I can't get there from it. It'll say I stopped scribing.
Yeah. Say the needle's not scraping, or it's not driving in this tape?
It's not. The tape is driving, but the needle is not leaving any mark.
I understand.
I believe I'll go ahead and run it on down there anyway.
Roger.
Might as well.
Get some G's on it, it might work okay.
That's worth a try.
Okay, we're set up at 37K.
Roger, maybe it'll come back in.
On a non-exit pattern.
Houston, this is 10. Have I got to go to activate the primary VAPs?
Stand by 1. Houston, activate the primary VAPs.
Okay, here goes.
Okay, Houston, we're going to maneuver to the SEP attitude now.
Roger, maneuvering to SEP attitude. Apollo 10, Houston, John, if you haven't already tried it, you might on that EMS scroll, try running the tape back a half-inch backwards and back and forth between the 37K line. And if that doesn't work, well, you can try the next pattern, and maybe this will break up that emulsion a little bit.
Roger, understand. Run the scroll back and forth between where and where, over?
Make sure you run it backwards first. Backwards no more than half an inch, and then forwards no more than the 37K line. Over.
Roger. By golly, that fixed it. Good thought there. Now, if I went, what I did was I had it on range set. I went back to test 5. Does that mean that I have to go all the way through the EMS counterclockwise anymore? Or if I go to range set, will it still be initialized at 37K, over?
Roger, John. Say again how far back you went, please.
About 3/8 of an inch.
Stand by one.
Hello, Houston, this is 10.
Go ahead.
Roger, we're getting a lot of noise on the high gain and this sub-attitude. How about me going omnis at this time?
Stand by. Apollo 10, Houston, let's go to Omni Charlie by the checklist, over.
Okay, we'll hold off on it then, but it's awful noisy up here.
Okay, Houston, we're going back to the initial entry interface attitude. This noise is about to drive us wild up here on that high gain.
Roger 10, it's okay to go to Omni Charlie now if you'd rather.
Okay, we can go there now, huh? Okay, because we're a little bit ahead of the checklist and going to this attitude. That's why I'm asked. Okay, we'll go to Omni Charlie at this time.
Roger. Apollo 10, Houston, it's not clear to us exactly what you did with the EMS. Will you describe it one more time so we can give you an answer, over?
Roger, I was on range set when you said wiggle it back and forth. So I went back to test 5, brought it back approximately 3/8 of an inch toward 38K, and it started scribing. So I quit and went back to 37, and I'm now on test 5.
Roger,
my question is...
Go ahead with your question.
Do I have to go through another scroll pattern or go clean through the EMS test to get it reset at 37K?
Roger, we'll get an answer for you. Just a minute.
I think the answer is no.
Apollo 10, while we're coming up with that answer, we're ready to uplink a state vector. Can we have the computer, over?
We're in CMC and accept.
Roger, thank you. Apollo 10, Houston, we're a little delayed on our uplink. It'll be up momentarily. That's coming now.
This is Apollo Control. Mark 1 minute to entry interface, at which point Apollo 10 will come back into the, effectively, the Earth's atmosphere at 400,000 feet.
Which are different than the last pass. Over.
Okay, Jack, take them one at a time, will you, and let me confirm them, would you?
Okay, our gamma at 400K is now 6.54, over.
.54 gamma at 400K.
That's affirmative, and our RET at 0.05G is 0027.
0027 at 4 at .05 G, RAT.
Okay, that's affirmative, and the next three numbers are in the blackout block. Begin blackout at 0017, end at 0328, and drogues at 0816, over.
Okay, I got begin blackout at 0017, and blackout at 328, and drogues at 816.
That's affirmative.
Thank you.
This is Apollo Control. To correct statement earlier and reading the clock, it's now 57 minutes to entry interface instead of 1 minute.
Look.
Shows we got a 22.2 mile vacuum purge. Looks good.
Roger 10, and on your EMS you can go directly to range set and it'll work, over.
Roger, thank you. I thought it would. And Houston, we're ready to activate the secondary events.
Apollo 10, Houston, let's hold off until EI minus 50, about 6.5 more minutes for the secondary evap, over.
Okay, we'll hold off.
This is Apollo Control. Distance now down to 9,136 nautical miles. Velocity building up now at 19,128 feet per second.
Apollo 10, Houston, we'd like to proceed with the VHF check now, and we're configured at the site. If you'll transmit, we'll listen, over.
Roger, we're reading you right now, VHF, and short con follows 1, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Roger, you came in way down in the mud, you faded out, then came back in.
Roger, you're about three by and down in the mud.
Roger, and I've got one more number to change on your entry pad. Roger.
Hello, Houston, this is 10. How do you read?
Okay, reading you loud and clear now, 10.
Okay, you're still down in the mud. Go ahead with that update.
Okay, the next change is on EMS range to go. Should read 12061, over.
Roger, 12061.
That's affirmed.
Okay, it sounds like you're transmitting on VJet and S-band to Jack. Could you go back to S-band only, over?
Roger, S-band only. Apollo 10, Houston, we have a change to your altimeter. Your Delta H will be a +57. The recovery ships are on station. The aircraft are en route. Over.
Roger, +57. Okay, Houston, I'm going to activate the secondary event.
Roger 10, go ahead. Apollo 10, Houston, there's no change in the weather in the landing area. 2,500 scattered in 10. Winds are 120 at 10 knots, a 3-foot swell, and we're coming up on our 45-minute check momentarily.
Roger.
Okay, John, stand by for a 45-minute check. 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
Okay, thank you.
Roger.
We need to go for power arm to check RCS.
Okay, John, we're go for power arm.
Roger.
Stand by to fire the barrels. 3, 2, 1, mark.
Apollo 10 Houston, both rings look good here.
Roger, they look good to us too.
This is Apollo Control. Some 43 minutes now from entry interface. Present distance 6,916 nautical miles out. It's reported that rescue aircraft number 1, 2, and 3 staging out of Samoa are now on station. Ground elapsed time now 191 hours, 6 minutes. Continuing to monitor air-ground as the crew approaches the separation time at entry interface minus 15 minutes. Now 42 minutes from entry interface. This is Apollo Control. Both rings of the command module reaction control system have been pressurized. Pyrotechnics are armed. Both rings are showing normal pressure at this time.
Houston, how'd it look?
You're looking real good there, John.
Well, it feels real good. It's real crisp fine.
This is Apollo Control. The 3 rescue aircraft are C-130 Herkybird turboprop aircraft. Rescue 1, aircraft commander is Captain Gerald D. Parker of Barberton, Ohio. He's with the 76 Air Rescue Squadron out of Hickam Air Force Base, Hawaii. Rescue 2, Captain John D. Ott, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 79th Air Rescue Squadron, Anderson Air Force Base, Guam. Rescue 3, aircraft commander is Captain Anthony A. Benagas of Kearney, New Jersey. 76th Air Rescue Squadron, Hickam Air Force Base. 39 minutes now to entry. Standing by on air ground live.
Okay, Houston, the bus ties are on the line. Okay. Tape recorders going to rewind. And the sun is setting, just like you said.
And here comes the Earth.
Roger 10, and the bats look good.
Correct. It's amazing to see an air glow on the horizon again, over.
Yeah, you guys are a little out of your environment now, aren't you?
Yeah, I didn't see that up there around the moon.
It's a good round one, I'll tell you that.
This is Apollo Control. Present altitude 4,296 nautical miles. 27 minutes away from entry interface. About 12 minutes away from separating the service module from the command module. This takes place at 15 minutes prior to 400,000 feet, or what is called entry interface. Still live on air ground.
Okay, Houston, we're halfway through the SEP checklist and we're moving to the separation attitude.
Roger, we're watching you.
Houston 10, it looks like we might have a primary evap.
That's affirmative, Tim. The primary VAP is working.
This is Apollo Control, 21 minutes from entry interface.
Attitude now. We complete the SEP checklist.
Roger 10.
It's reported that the Apollo range instrumented aircraft acronym ARIA, are beginning to take their stations along the ground track of Apollo 10 for relaying radio communications back through to Houston. 21 minutes now to entry interface. About 6 minutes to separation from the service module. Still live on air ground.
Okay, Houston, I'm calling up program 61.
Roger 10, program 61. Apollo 10, Houston, we'd like to verify that the S-band power amps switch is in low, over.
That's affirmative, it's been in low.
Thank you.
This is Apollo Control. Program 61 is entry maneuver to command module, service module, separation attitude. Now a little over 3 minutes away.
Apollo 10, Houston, we'd like to update your landing cue card. You'll pass 90,000 feet at 0626. Over.
Roger.
Roger, thank you. I guess we have a go for power alarm here to separate Miss Finn.
That's affirmative 10. You are go for power arm.
Roger. Okay, we're showing set time.
Roger 10, go ahead.
Okay, we'll go ahead and separate it about 30 seconds early. At 44:30. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, set. RCS transfer to command module.
I think separation was follow.
Roger 10, we copy.
This is Apollo Control. Good separation has been confirmed. Apollo 10 just crossing the West Australian coast in a long track toward the splashdown point, 350 nautical miles east of Pago Pago, American Samoa. Leaving air ground live for any transmissions that do take place prior to entry and beginning of blackout.
Okay, Houston, that was a good set.
Roger 10, we confirm a good set.
What happened there was it started our EMS, and I wonder how to reinitialize that. Did we run all the way through the test back?
Stand by, we're going to answer for you.
This is Apollo Control, present altitude 1,385 nautical miles.
Apollo 10, Houston, on the EMS situation. Best thing to do is to go counterclockwise on your switch back around to test 5, then advance to the next non-exit skip pattern.
Roger.
Reset your range and your V0 and you're ready to go again, over.
Roger. That's what I figured.
This is Apollo Control.
Right now.
Roger 10, we copy.
This is Apollo Control. The discussion has to do with the entry monitor system, in which a visual display is given to the crew for scribing the entry range to go from entry interface. Apparently the thing has sorted itself out. Certain amount of levity here in the control room as the recovery plot television display shows the Red Baron on station. This is Apollo Control. The Red Baron has been replaced now by the Apollo Range Instrumented Aircraft Araya number 5. However, the small sketch of an airplane that's laid out on the recovery plot strangely looks like a Sopwith Camel.
Okay, Houston, we're approaching the entry attitude.
Roger 10.
What we're doing up here in entry attitude is just compensating for a little water boiler, y'all. Houston, could we have a mark at 5 minutes to RRT, over?
Roger, mark 5 minutes at RRT.
And we're all set up in EMS configuration, ready to go, and I believe it's going to work.
Roger, we copy.
And we're in P63. I'm sure you can read it on your disk key, and R to go is decreasing, and VI is increasing. Everything looks good. Over.
Roger 10. Apollo 10, we missed your mark at 5 minutes, 4 minutes and 50 seconds coming up. Mark.
Okay.
This is Apollo Control, 4 minutes 34 seconds to entry, 18 minutes 34 seconds to splash. Present altitude 395 nautical. This is Apollo Control. We're estimating S-band communications blackout at 18 seconds after entry interface, which is about 3 minutes 37 seconds from this time. This is Apollo Control. Velocity now up to 35,317 feet per second, climbing about 10 feet each second or so as the display turns over. Range to go 23,000, no, as you were. Move the decimal point over, 2,292 nautical.
Guidance looking real good from here. We'll be attempting to contact you again after blackout at 328, over.
Roger. You working through an Orion now?
Negative, not yet. We will be then, however.
Roger. Okay, the guidance is coming in. Looks good.
Roger 10.
Apollo Control here, 35,927 feet per second, increasing rapidly. 1,845 nautical range to touchdown. Mark 1 minute to entry interface.
Roger.
Mark entry interface. Velocity 36,331, still increasing. Downrange to splash point 1,315 nautical miles. S-band blackout on predicted time, about 17 or 18 seconds after entry interface. Estimate coming out of the blackout at 3 minutes 29 seconds after beginning, or after entry interface at 400,000 feet. Maximum G loading of the spacecraft and crew will be in the neighborhood of 6.7 Gs. Drogue parachute deployment now predicted for 8 minutes 17 seconds retro elapsed time, or entry elapsed time in this case, since there has been no retro fire from a lunar return mission. All aircraft in the primary recovery area are on station. Splashdown will be approximately 25 minutes prior to local daylight in the Princeton prime recovery ship area, which is standing by on the aiming point. Likely orbiting around the aiming point rather than right on it. 2 minutes past entry interface. About 1 minute and 29 seconds left in blackout. Velocity now 36,363 feet per second. Apparently that was the last velocity in tracking prior to blackout. should be out of blackout at this time. We have a first report that Samoa Rescue 1 aircraft staging out of Hickam Air Force Base has a visual contact. We have a report of visual contact from Air Boss 3 on station near the Princeton. It's reported from the Princeton that they, on board the prime recovery vessel, have visual contact with Apollo 10. Apparently that is radar contact rather than visual. No confirmation of visual at the present time.
We're short, 6 miles short right now, and we're coming on in. Flying about 4 Gs. This machine is flying like crazy. Boy, it's really short.
Roger 10, we copy, and we've got you on TV.
I tell you, this thing is beautiful. It shows a few miles overshoot, 1.7, 1.2 cross range. And we're pulling about 3.5 Gs now. Rolling right 60 degrees, and we're practically on top of the target. EMS has reached 21 miles to go. Went down, looks like we're about 150K right now. For Princeton player, we're going to be there shortly.
Roger 10, we're waiting for you. Apollo 10, Houston, you're coming in broken, but we still have you visual, over.
It's reported from the prime recovery vessel Princeton that they heard a sonic boom from Apollo 10. Samoa Rescue 2 aircraft has S-band contact. A lot of speculation as to whether the item in the television picture from the ship is actually the spacecraft or the service module. Recovery Aircraft 3 has a visual with the spacecraft on parachutes. A lookout on board the Princeton reports sighting the spacecraft on the main parachutes. We're still about 25 minutes away from sunrise at the Princeton.
Contact 225 magnetic. You also have a visual on the light.
Reported from photographic aircraft in the area that all three chutes are deployed, which is quite obvious from the television coming from the prime recovery vessel. It's early twilight, early morning dawn at the ship. Still enough daylight to see the spacecraft.
We should be right on top of you if you're down there.
1507 and 16467. This is going to one way to go from
All right, so this is Apollo 10. We are in great shape. Hello.
And we had splashdown at 192 hours, 3 minutes, 25 seconds approximately. Spacecraft is in stable 1, that is apex up. About 4 miles estimated from the Princeton.
Boss, try to engage the main chute. Total 1, Wilco. Airboss 3, we have the 2 drogue chutes in flight. Boss 3, the drogue chutes are from U015 estimating at 7 miles. They're coming down there at about 7,000 feet now.
Latest estimate now, 3 miles from the Princeton.
This is recovery 3. The big do not appear to have detached. There are still shroud lines over the command. Over. Roger, that's because we fell back on top of us. Trying to make us that's fine. I'm over. Hello, Princeton, this is ANC. We have you at USS Princeton. Photo 1, 100 yards, 1 on off the other side. Princeton, there, boss, over. We have a aircraft carrier in sight. Roger, Apollo 10 was calling. They have you in sight. Do you have them in sight, over? This is recovery 3, the wind module is 090. All right. Apollo 10, control, you have you in sight. Control from Airbus, the drogue chutes now are at 030, estimating miles from you at approximately 4,000, slowly drifting down. Recovery, this is Apollo 10. This looks like a great chance to get a few parachutes. Apollo 10, Airbus concur, and we're going to do the best we can. Okay. It's a mighty nice sea station you guys got here today. That's affirmative, and welcome back to Earth on behalf of Fire Recovery Ship Princeton. Over. I'm glad we are to be here. 3, photo 1, move off, please. Both drogue chutes with a short burner. This is Airbus 3, Roger. Airbus 1, strangle, and Airbus 2, strangle. I'm activating now. Airbus 2, strangle. Airbus 3 has relay activated. Primary leader, you read over. Put out the dive ladder now so we can hook up and talk to us, over. Tally ho, the drogue chute. Boss, roger. We're going to mark with long burner and be coming back over datum. This is recovery 3. The apex cover is floating 180 half mile from command module. This is photo 1. We've engaged one of the chutes and a raft is deployed. The second one, the raft did not inflate, and as we dropped it out, we're commencing our approach on the third one. So are you copying all, or do you desire me to relay over? Roger. Bridge from boss, are you reading over? Your lights inside this time.
This is Apollo Control. Recovery helicopter number 3 is presently on approach to drop swimmers. The swim team, the first one to go out in the jumping order will be bosun's mate first class J.L. Boisvert of Imperial Beach, California, who was also involved in Apollo 6 recovery. Second man out will be Seaman Michael G. Mallory of Alderwood Manor, Washington. Number 3 man out will be Lieutenant Junior Grade Wesley T. Chesser of Arlington, Virginia. We'll rejoin what readable conversation there is between Air Boss and the crew of Apollo 10 through the carrier.
This is Air Boss, roger. First aircraft in the area will be back up. Aircraft will see if we can work on these drogue chutes and we get them relocated. Recovery 3, the apex cover is marked with a short burner. Okay, rescue, this is Apollo 10, take your time and take it easy. We got a good sea state and we want you all to be careful. It's recovery 3, roger. Drogue chutes have some. We're still trying to look for them to see if we can mark them. Roger. This is photo 1. I believe we've engaged the 2 chutes. There's 2 rafts in the water. You should have 2 good chutes. Air Boss, roger. Keep the back cover in sight. Recovery 3, commence when you are ready, over. Recovery 3, welcome. brakes. Recovery 3 is coming to the pass for the first one.
Recovery 3 moving into position for dropping the first swimmer. Recovery 3 is piloted by Commander Charles B. Smiley of Chula Vista, California. Co-pilot is Lieutenant J. Scott Walker of Long Beach, California, who was also involved in the Apollo 8 recovery operation.
First swimmer's in the water with the sea anchor, approximately 30 feet from the command module and approaching at this time.
First swimmer has jumped into the water.
1,500 yards to make a search for the drogue chute area and snag if possible. Recovery 1, we'll go. Boss 3, go. That is Boss 2, we're about 5 miles down. You need us? Affirmative, come on overhead at Angels 2. This is photo 1. The swimmer is at the module at this time and is attaching the sea anchor. Roger, anchor overhead at Angels 2, over. Swimmer has attached the sea anchor this time and is attempting to free the shroud lines from over the command module. Apollo 10 is the recovery 3. The back will also request another report on your condition, over. Would you tell the medical officer to just relax because we are in great shape, over. This is recovery 3, roger out. Tell the medical officer I will ask for a relax, will you, over. Recovery 3, welcome. Super great. We feel as good as when we left the Cape 8 days ago. We got here just 2 lakhs, over. Recovery 3, welcome up. Recovery 3, I have a thumbs up from this swimmer. We're making a second pass to deploy 2 swimmers. Picking up the narrative. Recovery 3 is approaching the command module. 2 swimmers and the sea anchor in the water at this time. Give a thumbs up from the swimmers. There's 3 swimmers inside and they are good. That's photo 1. The 2 swimmers are taking the collar toward the module this time.
This is Apollo Control. We have confirmation that all 3 swimmers are in the water.
Boss 1, Boss 3, request you activate relay. Boss 1, will go. This is photo 1. The swimmers have the module at this time and are commencing installation.
Orion 5, Cape contact on Simplex.
Cape contact, Orion 5, you proceed.
Roger, Orion 5. We are using HF at this time. TACSAT is unusable.
This is Apollo Control. The 3 swimmers in the water presently are attaching the flotation collar underneath the command module.
Roger, they will not inflate their bags once they get the collar inflated. The collar is halfway around. Recovery 1 here, boss. No joy on your drove. Return. Recovery 1, welcome.
Flotation collar now approximately halfway around the spacecraft.
The collar installation is all the way around at this time, and these swimmers are connecting the 2 ends.
Hello, Recovery 3, Apollo 10.
Apollo 10, Recovery 3, go ahead.
Roger, we thought you'd be right on the spot. How far was the first off the spot, over?
Recovery 3, be advised, the captain says you win the event, but it was a close contest, over.
Okay, sorry, thanks a lot for being here.
Roger, well passed. Princeton, you copy? This is Recovery 3, relay from Apollo 10. Thanks for being here, over.
Princeton now reported 2,000 yards away from the spacecraft and making its approach. Flotation collar now being inflated.
The tag's been inflated.
Inflation of the flotation collar complete.
Photo 1, the swimmers are on the collar at this time. Clear, boss. We have... Please do not come too close to module on your pass, over.
3 swimmers are now sitting on the collar. That's flotation collar that's supporting the command module. The landing platform helicopter Princeton, carrier Princeton, affectionately known by its crew as Sweet Pea, is skippered by Captain Carl M. Cruz of Woodville, Texas, who coincidentally is a distant cousin of Orange Team Flight Director Pete Frank. Go back and review splash time, 192 hours, 3 minutes, 25 seconds.
Control, Air Boss, the smoke plane to the south of the module is marking a main chute, over. Go. Swimmers have the raft of the module this time and are inflating it and attaching our securing line. The raft is inflated. Swimmers are securing it this time. Raft is riding very steadily. The flotation collar is inflated and good. The raft is inflated and in good shape. The swimmers are continuing to secure the raft.
We've had confirmation from the recovery vessel Princeton that the command module hatch has been opened and Apollo 10 crew egress is likely to take place as they climb out onto the raft and await pickup by the recovery helicopter. recovery vessel Princeton now estimates 1,100 yards from the ship to where the command module is floating. One crewman of Apollo 10 is out on the raft, as reported from the ship. Unknown at this time which one it is.
Astronaut is out of the command module and is in the raft at this time. All three swimmers are in the raft.
Oh. It's reported that all three crewmen are now in the raft, awaiting pickup by the recovery helicopter.
We're getting a signal from the swimmers to commence the pickup operation.
Preparation, commence approach.
Helicopters now moving into position to lower the net for picking up the crew.
Three is approaching the module. The rescue net is almost in the water this time, approaching the draft.
The device lowered from the helicopter is known as a Billy Pugh net.
In the raft. First astronaut is in the net.
Here in Mission Control, the room is getting rather crowded as people from the back rooms and off-duty flight controllers move in to watch the recovery operations on a 10x10 television projector, which is showing the commercial TV from the prime recovery vessel on the front screen of Mission Control Center. There goes the first astronaut up into the helicopter in the Billy Pugh net.
About halfway up. Astronaut is at the hatch of recovery 3. Recovery 3 is commencing his approach for the second astronaut.
One crewman aboard. Second one will be picked up momentarily as the helicopter lowers the net for the second pickup.
Princeton, Sabal Rescue 1 on 296.8. You copy? Sabal Rescue, this is Air Boss, working with Princeton. I copy, over. Roger, roger. Recovery 3 is Astronaut is in the net. It's clear of the ramp. Astronaut is halfway up.
Second crewman being hauled up now in the Billy Pugh net toward the Recovery 3 helicopter.
Astronaut is aboard. Race commencing its third approach for the third astronaut. Operation is normal. Recovery 3 is at the raft. The net is in the raft at this time. The third astronaut is climbing aboard.
Third and last crewman now being hoisted up into the helicopter.
Stars at the hatch, brother. The third astronaut is aboard Recovery 3. Tower, this is Recovery 3 up to frequency. Roger, Recovery. Contact 7 knots. Deadlock 4. This is Recovery 3, roger out. Recovery 2, Air Boss, go ahead and move in and deliver the loop when you can. Recovery 2, will go. Control, Air Boss. Do we know if the whaleboat has picked up that chute or not? Control, negative. Roger.
This is Apollo Control. A few moments ago, Manned Spacecraft Center Flight Operations Director Chris Kraft shouted across the control room to Rear Admiral Fred E. Bakudis, who is commander of Manned Spacecraft Recovery Force Pacific, Carrier Task Force 130, his congratulations for a job well done in the Princeton recovery area. Recovery aircraft number 3 now approaching the Princeton.
Boss, you may descend to your discretion.
Flight controllers here in Mission Control gathering ever more tightly here, crowding around looking at the large 10 by 10 television projector at the front of the Mission Control Center as the helicopter lands on the deck of the Princeton, awaiting the crew stepping out of the chopper onto the deck of the carrier. On deck at 31 minutes past 31 minutes past the hour. I think the boxes of cigars are being broken out here in Mission Control as the helicopter touches down on deck. NASA Administrator Thomas O. Payne here in the control center, as is Manned Spacecraft Center Director Dr. Robert Gilruth. It's almost elbow to elbow in here. Cigars beginning to light up all around the room. Great deal of applause here in Mission Control as the crew steps out of the helicopter. Control room is elbow to elbow, from door to door. Cigars have been passed around. I have no estimate on how many boxes of cigars. On the center screen, the 10 by 20 scribing projector, we have a large American flag, 20 feet wide. Next to that is the Apollo 10 crew patch on a 10 by 10 projector. Here in
On behalf of the officers and men of the recovery group, I'd like to welcome Apollo 10 back to Earth. Colonel Stafford, if you and Commander Young and Commander Cernan would care to say a few words to the ship's company, we'd be very appreciative, sir. Well, first of all, it's really great to be back from the moon, and all of us feel in great shape, and I can't tell how much we appreciate all the support from the people around the world. If you can see us back in Houston with Chris and Deke and George Lowe and all of them, and also how much we think we've increased the knowledge of man's environment we're going to press on here. It was a tremendous team effort, and it was all shared by all of us. And here's another man from the team, Gino.
You know, the thing that made this possible is being a part of the greatest country in the world, and it's great to come back to it. I tell you, it's just tremendous, and I thank everybody in it. We didn't hit the third wire, but we came pretty close. It's always good to see a big part of the U.S. Navy waiting for a small part of the U.S. Navy.
Here in Mission Control, they've just hung the Apollo 10 crew patch along with the rest of the manned Apollo mission patches up next to the ceiling along one side wall. There's a large number of American flags on all the consoles. A lot of cigar smoke drifting up. Everyone's waving their flag for the benefit of commercial TV. Quite noisy in here. Now impossible to hear the communication circuits. This is Apollo Control. This control center, I doubt, could hold more than about 3 more people. Pandemonium personified. Cigars, cameras, flags, people. A lot of exhilaration, exuberance here. Handshaking. Congratulations going in all directions. Various people among the Department of Defense and the National Aeronautics and Space Administration after a very successful lunar mission, predecessor to lunar landing in Apollo 11. At 192 hours, 49 minutes ground elapsed time. This is Apollo Control signing off.